Secrets of the night. The role of nighttime. The night is the productive half of the 24-hour solar day, or just the day. It is the period of rest for most organisms, and its association is with evil and dreams, the unknown, sleep, craziness or mental disorder, such as where we get the word lunacy and lunatic from is lunar or luna, magic, the supernatural, the paranormal, horror. You also have things like goddess and the feminine and fertility. And you have desserts and like certain food cravings, usually at night, more sweet. You also have coolness and chilliness and relaxing. So these are kind of our associations with nighttime. But most notably is fungus and how these are all tied together by fungus, which we will go into. The dichotomy of day and night. The most fundamental dichotomy is between day and night. The day is represented by yang, or potential energy, and the night is represented by yin, kinetic energy. The sun is a source of energy that many organisms can convert to fuel. Growth is done at night, taking this energy and distributing it out throughout the system. Building muscle occurs at night when the body is resting, and both are essential for organisms or ecosystems to survive. You can think of it in terms of a city, where the nighttime you have all of these background processes without which the city won't be able to function during the day, like distributing supplies, and a lot of maintenance and construction work occurs at night so that during the day everything can run smoothly. Organisms and ecosystems, they work in that same way, where sunlight is giving off this potential energy, and that energy can be converted and is converted at nighttime, where growth, healing, and reproduction and the rebuilding of cells and tissues is usually at night, and replenishment of the body or an ecosystem, talking about plants and animals and everything, is overnight. So it's kind of gathering resources during the day, and then at night it is using those resources, and that is what is represented by the yin-yang for the dichotomy of day and night. Properties of the day. Sunlight is preserving, drying, and fueling. Food is baked and dried by the sun in order to save it, to make it last longer. Sunlight is important for health, and specifically the immune system. As its yang quality suggests, daytime is static. Sunlight equals longevity and survival. Again, these are the broad rules of nature. Not necessarily everything follows this. Like you have night blooming flowers or nocturnal animals and stuff like that. But either way, the day is essential just as much as the night. Properties of night. As the growth period, the night is what ages and develops organisms. Cell production begins away from sunlight. The potential energy gathered from the day is actualized and used for budding, expanding, and a progress in organisms, everything from plants, insects, and animals. So this is when most of the growth, development, and cell reproduction occurs in any given organism. It is at night, when it's no longer being preserved by the sun. You may notice by the end of the day that you have all of these refreshed feelings, and you've kind of regathered yourself. You've built back muscle if you've exercised, or maybe you noticed your hair just grew longer or something overnight, or there's a lot of changes in the body where during the day you didn't have those, and then nighttime you go to sleep, you wake up, and you may notice a lot of changes in a lot of different parts of your body, whether healing or worsening of all different kinds of dysfunctions that are changing day to day. Night is the realm of fungus. Night is the primary growth period of fungus. This means the fruiting period of mycelium, the reproduction period of yeasts, and so on with all different kinds of types of fungus. Fungus is destroyed in sunlight, or at least it doesn't grow during or when exposed to sunlight. Mushrooms can actually convert sunlight to vitamin D. Again, they are the fruiting bodies of mycelium. Most organisms follow the patterns of day energizing and night actualizing because of fungi. Sickness, disease, and decomposition occur in the dark or at night because fungi do not survive in direct sunlight. So all these processes of the body healing or fighting disease is going to be most noticeable and have the most drastic changes during night, because that is when fungus is able to start regrowing and attacking the body again. Night is the realm of fungus continued. Without the sun's preserving properties, organisms engage in growth and reproduction at night, where they compete with fungal mycelium and spores. The body fights off sickness at night when mold is attacking and growing in the body. On the other hand, without fungi inoculated in us and other organisms, survival would be impossible due to the symbiotic relationships we have with them. Remember, we're an entire contained ecosystem, and while fungus can be the cause of a lot of diseases, we have fungus in us that we need, that is integral to our existence and the existence of most organisms. But night is when all of these things really take place. It's when all of this stuff goes down in the body, and we're going to keep talking about this in a moment. Night is the realm of fungus continued sickness. Human behavior is changed during the night when fungi production begins. But sickness and chronic illnesses are exacerbated at night, so that upon waking up, the body is sore and damaged, such as arthritis or common cold, and nearly every other disease. The night is always harder. Similarly, being cooped up inside will only prolong the illness and possibly make it worse. I would say for most illnesses, this is true. The fungi is coming from somewhere to invade the body. A thorough cleaning of the house or room or your clothes and other objects commonly used like toothbrush or something, or cups, as well as cleaning the air conditioning and dusting, will discourage fungal growth that's already in somewhere. To deal with the fungus already inside and eating the body, sunlight and vitamin D is often an effective method in preserving or healing, you can think of it, the body from fungus. Darkness and dampness are the favored environments of almost all fungi. When you are sick, it is a result of your body fighting off fungus. The symptoms are how the body reacts to trying to expel that fungus from itself. Just as in the night you can get sicker, you also may completely recover by the morning. You go to sleep feeling bad and then you wake up perfectly fine, because during that night process your body has successfully fought off the fungus, just as it can also make it worse if your body's still undergoing that fungal infection or inoculation that you're dealing with. So this is why when you first wake up, it may take you a few hours, or you just maybe wake up in a lot of extra pain from your sickness or arthritis or something like that, because all that fungus in your body that's causing these sickness and illnesses and chronic pain has grown further into the body and done its attacking. And so in the morning, you'll feel it a lot worse. You go out and do about your day, you feel a lot better, and then at night again, it kind of repeats this cycle until either you die or the fungus is completely healed or purged from your body. Night is the realm of fungus continued death. Because fungus is responsible for decomposition in most illnesses, which really is kind of the decomposition of a living organism. Death is associated with the nighttime. The legends of evil spirits, demons, ghosts, poltergeists, ghouls, etc. stem from this fear of the night and the preceding infestation of fungal organisms, just without the understanding that it is fungi. That feeling of supernatural unease on a night walk and the phobia of one's own house at night originate from this same fungal manifestation occurring. Without the knowledge of fungi, ancient humans and humans today are often superstitious, referring to mold and yeast as dark forces and evil entities. Microdosing mycotoxins. Every day we are exposed to millions of microscopic spores. These spores vary in species and dosage, causing unknown and adverse symptoms. Neurons are extremely durable and recover swiftly from most chemical interactions. We are unlikely to see the interactions of the spores without either looking for them on a daily basis or without the proper technology. Cases like black mold poisoning in the brain is an example of an overexposure that can lead to growth and permanent damage in the brain. This may not be the best way of putting it by saying microdosing, but in reality that is what is happening. There are millions of spores and those get inside of the body. We don't know what effects they may have on us, and you're not really going to be able to tell what the effects are because you could be breathing it in at any time and then it goes away in a few minutes. No kind of scan is going to pick that up as a microscopic spore interacts with some of your chemical receptors, has some sort of various effect, and then it's gone, and the neuron heals. Microdosing mycotoxins continued. This microdosing of spores we experience on a daily basis could explain a wide range of phenomena and unexplained behaviors from moments of subtle auditory and visual hallucinations, hysteria, spurts of euphoria, languor, even seasonal mood changes and mood swings that are based on weather and the time of day. A gust of spores can be breathed in by a group of people or enter into a food source or water source, and this can plausibly and easily account for the many instances of mass hallucinations or hysteria documented through history. Nighttime being the production period of fungus gives credibility to the understanding of so many paranormal or spiritual events happening randomly due to the unintentional and natural inhalation of mycotoxin spores. So these like random moments of fear when you're in bed and you think you hear something or you think something's going to get you, or a lot of these we probably had more as kids than anything else, or even just when you, like I said, when you're walking down the street or you're just seem irrationally feared, and associated with that are hallucinations and these things like that. What I say is that this could be these small doses of mycotoxins affecting your brain chemistry and causing these feelings. And I think you could expand it to lots of different weird behavioral anomalies. And that's apart from earlier where I said it's going to be another video talking about that specifically. Fungus and Religion. Mythology, which stems from human fungal interaction, and the stories that are generated from this, often take place at night. The night is the axis of rituals and cultural festivals. It is the time of heightened spiritual activity because it is the time of heightened fungal activity. The two are inextricably linked. Nighttime is the time of parties, ghost stories, and rituals, and magic, and all of these spiritual and occultic events, and this is because of the fungal activity during this time period, during the night time. The nature of the sun and moon are represented in ancient mythology and religion as giant celestial mushroom gods. The sun and moon are personified as gods, and those gods are amorphisms of mushrooms. The moon is round like that of a mushroom cap, and from which all fungi credit their growth and reproduction to. Moonlight is integral to plant and animal health, just as much as the sun is. Fungus can be healing or harmful. The ancient understanding of the worship of the moon derives from this ability to show reverence to the moon for the benevolence of good spirits, aka fungus. This will ultimately lead to a more in-depth video on fungal intelligence and possibly fungal sentience, as we've seen with fermentation rituals and the rice experiment and things of that nature. But the moon, which is kind of the centerpiece of nighttime, has all of these relations and associations because of how fungus is related to the night, and because the nighttime is where fungus grows and spreads and reproduces and infests. In conclusion, fungus is responsible for most phenomena, behaviors, legends, myths, the paranormal, spiritual, and bodily occurrences that are associated with nighttime. So fungus is responsible for those. The secrets of the night, all the mysteries that have captivated human fear and wonder at the night's beauty, are owed directly to those invisible fungal entities that roam the dark in the form of microscopic spores. Thank you for watching.